we're on for a game. Let's see. Would you re-roll this map? Interesting. Coal is quite far away from iron. You potentially could set up your smelting here. Awesome. It's really nice to know. I stream, not often. I like to kind of play lots of different video games, but I'm not really that knowledgeable about streaming. So over the course of the last couple of months, people have really helped me out in terms of like learning how to balance my sound and learning how to make sure that my, stream, I guess my game itself is coming through clear. So cheers, thank you for that. Right, Dalvos. Does anybody recognize this guy? Dalvos. Dalvos wants to keep the map. The soldier wants to stay as well. I think we're on. I think we're on for this seed. Really solid iron patch, but it is at a distance to the coal, with really solid copper and stone just close to the silo. I mean, you'd make the argument to kind of create your smelting around the... Oh no, the old numbers. Whose idea was this? Why can't we put the new ones in? This is still fun though. I kind of like the cartoony stuff. Okay, Dalvos is kind of a big deal then. I don't want to hype him up and oversell, but I'm sorry. I apologise if I said this last tournament because I'm not like... I play lots of games, but I don't know lots of people in the community. I apologise if I kind of undersell or if I don't know the people that we're watching. It's not because I'm like chinning them off and ignoring them. I just literally do not know names and stuff. So unfortunately, before the tournament started, I think Zamoltis and Anti-Elites were the only two guys I really knew. And then I got to know Kobai a little bit by doing some casting with him and stuff. And again, lovely people, by the way. I highly recommend getting involved in the MMP runs. They're really good fun. I did my first one a while ago, which is awesome. As we can see, Dalvos here setting up a very early iron smelting line. And the soldier doing exactly the same. So not missing a single beat. Power's gone down, straight into iron. And hopefully maybe we see some early rushes. Try and push the tempo a little bit in the early phase of the game. But yeah, I guess that's probably on me though. I need to get to know people a bit better. I mean, I've been working non-stop for the last couple of weeks, so I haven't really been at my PC to really get to know people. But I have the whole of this month to play video games, and trust me, that is happening. I'm going to be doing a lot of cool things on Fighter Battles. I'm going to be hosting and playing a couple of games as well. And we see a little bit of copper going down early on. Okay, copper's not always prioritized if they were looking at like an early kind of spam strat. So potentially we might be looking at this moving up. Yeah, I agree with you, Skelly. You want to be grenading them if you can. Purely just because it's just one quick throw and then you're back to whatever you want to do. I think the coal being as far away as it is, you could potentially be stretched a little bit between... this area being attacked and then this area being attacked, so maybe early sends could potentially be a real killer here. Because you all know anyway from playing the game that, when you start off, your run speed is not great. You're not exactly moving quick. And it's not like you can use lots of conveyor belts, lots of, yellow belts to move you in between areas. Like, yeah, I worry that this might be a slight stretch on your run. I may be wrong. We might be looking at a game that goes on for hours, and if we do, then fantastic. I'll need another coffee. But yeah, it seems to me like that yellow ammo send early on is quite strong. Even just to pump the number up to like 10% maybe. 3 to 4 to 500 yellow mags going in. It could be death. But it also could be wasted opportunity as well. Is there a peace period? You might be right. You may be correct on that. And let me set something up whilst I'm here. Because I wanted to do this last tournament and I didn't, and I'm definitely going to do it this one round. Let's set up a prediction. What I'll do is I'll let the game run for 3 or 4 minutes and then we'll predict with channel points who will win. Again, this isn't real money, this isn't stuff you have to pay for, you just get these channel points purely from watching. And yeah, we'll see what the people think. Bear with me, I don't do this that often, so it might take me a second to get used to it. Okay, let's do this. As we see, the first initial bug just get completely wiped out. Dalvos looking to go for yellow mags? Or at the very least build some up. How the hell do you do predictions? Does anybody know how you set up a prediction? I'm so bad, dude. Oh no, this is terrible. Is there like a command I can sit in? Prediction in chat. Yeah, you know where you can bet with channel points, effectively. Do you know, I'll figure this out in between games. We had time to figure this out last time. But what I don't want to do is miss any of the game itself. So, you know, that is the most important bit. Capturing the games. We'll keep it fun for you guys in chat as well. Thanks for joining again. And yeah, we'll find some way of getting you guys involved, voting on how. Alright, Prox's game looks like it's going to start up soon. So it looks like round 2 is firmly on the way. As we see now here. Oh, Kevin, nice to have you with us. You just played... Wait, is that the Kevin that just played against... Are you in the tournament, Kevin? The name rings a bell. You are, aren't you? Let's take a look. Yeah, you're Kevin who just beat Kojito. Well done. As you progress deeper into the tournament, the opposition will become stronger. But I think you had a really good game there, you know. We see now the soldier setting up what looks to be some early automation. Maybe we're looking at turrets potentially once this research completes. Meanwhile up north, again, just red signs going into labs. Some yellow mags look to be being built up if you can kind of feed them enough iron plates. And it looks to me like it's just Burner City, you know. Hand-fed coal into these iron smelters, a little bit of copper coming through now. And, okay, so... This, oh yeah, nah, that's terrible. I'd rather get one in stream. I've done it before, and I'll do it again. Yeah, let's take a quick second to figure this out. You know, nothing is happening just yet, so I'm just going to zoom out real quick. As you can see, just the kind of the bit side of things. Let me figure this out early, and once we get that ready to go, we'll start moving in the right direction. Oh, here we go. This is I know what I'm doing. Show the threat thingy. Okay. The threat thingy is currently at kind of 0, to be honest. We're not really moving in that direction just yet. I believe there might be a grace period at the beginning of the game. So, which one of these is a poll? Stream info, clip that, raid channel, manage goal stream. I'll give it a 3-minute poll. Awesome, right. If you do have channel points, feel free to vote with them. I'm not saying that you should or whatever, but it's just a little bit of fun for us as the game goes. Let's see who the chat believes will be the winner of this game. As we see the soldier initially having to defend and actually losing a decent amount of copper production there, you know. This is something that you don't necessarily want to lose. The team tab does as well, yeah. So we're dealing with 2.8, and there was a small send there, I guess, from the north to the south of 94 yellow mags whilst they're setting up the poll. This is not a channel point vote? Bruh, okay. However, I'm in the right spot. Let me down this poll and bring up the right one. But at the same time too, yeah, I don't want to miss too much of this. So hopefully once they start defending correctly, we can get that on the move. But if I do read this poll correctly, it's looking Dalvos 3-1. I mean, let's see if the soldier can kind of push deep. I mean, turret spam is quite strong. And we're having trouble joining other servers. Okay. Alright, there's some issue, small issue with a couple of people joining servers. That's fine. We'll try and work that out as we go. They are players at the end of the day, so we need to get onto that, but yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be absolutely fine. So, the sends begin, and North are dealing with 7% within the first 9 minutes of the game, and that is because I believe the turrets are being chucked, right? 13 turrets by the soldier. And nothing to sniff at, really. I mean, it's not tier 5, really. I think this is tier 3. If I remember correctly, and I might be wrong, I believe it goes yellow mags, walls, then turrets, then red mags, then gates, then defenders, then... So this is slightly out of order. But still though, I mean, throwing turrets early on has managed to change the evolution quite heavily. And 11% in the first 9 minutes is, yeah, that's pretty brutal, to be honest. Now again, we do see the use of the stone furnaces as a defensive structure. And I think throughout today, and even all the way through to the final, we'll see this defensive layer being employed. There is no point in using walls as we're meleeing the bugs to death. There's no point in using walls when you can send them effectively. I like speedrunning, but couldn't imagine competing with the existing one, so I started rooting. Oh wow. I'm kind of interested in speedrunning as well. And we think Dalvos might take this. I've heard he's a big deal. I mean, I like the soldier too though. I mean, the thing with the soldier is that he's like he's a hardcore bite battles player, right? This guy, he lives and breathes it. He captains some of the captains games. He's always in some of our larger organized games, so yeah, I'm highly interested to see which way this goes. I know that a lot of people have been preparing. A lot of people have been doing a lot of homework in the background. So yeah, there's been some people kind of like doing offline play tests, and the soldier definitely strikes me as the kind of person that would be doing that too. Apologies if you guys keep hearing Discord going off. I should probably mute this channel because otherwise that's all you're going to hear. There we go. Okay, and we see some turrets go down for the north. So I'm guessing that has lost a little bit of production here on the left-hand side, so it definitely lost his stone furnace production. And losing that's quite big because stone furnaces are one of the major defensive kind of thrusts at the beginning of the game. You'd probably want to get this back up and running as soon as possible. You need these stone, they're cheap at the end of the day and very easy to make, but at the same time too, you don't want to kind of run out of them because later on, as the bugs get to like 20%, 25%, the bugs will tear through these things, as we can see. Yeah, they're starting to already do damage on the south. Here we go, look, just ripping them down. Although arguably, I'd rather lose stone furnaces than any of this here. This is precious. You need to rebuild this if it all goes wrong anyway, so yeah, looking good. Meanwhile, up north, we have 3 iron lines, a copper line, and then just hand-fed production. So could we see a counter send of turrets? Are we looking like a one? The interesting thing for me is like, are we going to see multiple small throws, or do we think Dalvos is going to go big? You know, instead of throwing 100 turrets, 200 to 300. And at what point do you start saving these turrets? Oh, they're out of ammo. Oh no. I mean, it appears to me like Dalvos can go deeper, purely just because he has multiple kind of smelting lines, whereas it seems like the soldier's kind of stuck here. Copper is just not a factor at the moment. He's got a couple of plates being built into the burner cities, but ultimately really committing to iron here. And a defensive layer as well, so also grenades. Power's looking okay. you're limited with the amount of power you're given at the very beginning of the game. So ultimately, like, you can only build so much, right? So maybe the soldier is just kind of going all in on this. As we see another wave pop in. I mean, he's still dealing with 11% bugs as well, so it's not like he's having the easiest of times anyway. But I guess in the background, he's just allowing things to build up. So this is generally quite efficient, I'd say. For the soldier, I mean, compared to, you know, needing to stick down turret lines and then feed it bullets, I don't really think this is such a bad play. And finally, stone furnaces get back up on further north. Yeah, Dalvos. What's the next step? How do we go from here? I don't want to start checking people's inventory as well. You know, I remember last time I kind of like gave the game away a little bit. In one of the games, I checked the inventory of a player and I realized where they were going, and I kind of shouted it out on stream. So I definitely don't want to do that. I don't want to debate myself. But some very expensive in terms of the early game turrets going down now, and the bugs are making it through towards Dalvos' base. Does he have grenades? Or are now we committing to turrets being our main defensive? Interesting. No grenades as of yet. Meanwhile, the soldier still being attacked. Using radars as a defensive focal point. If I remember correctly, and I might be wrong. Hardly ever happens, but, you know, could be wrong this time. The bugs do tend to kind of key in on these radars. For whatever reason. Maybe because they don't like the sound of them, or because they're spinning around or whatever. But you can use them as focal points to draw them in. And it certainly seems to me like, you know, the existence of these radars are not for anything other than to bring them in, to kind of funnel the biters in close to these grenade buildings where you can grab a few, chuck a few, get back to what you were doing before. Okay, Dalvos going for another iron line. I mean, there's a lot of production coming here. And kind of like, where is it going to? Where are we moving this to? Military building. Yeah, got you. Yeah. So they naturally kind of key in on it. Because I've seen people in the past use them for effectively baiting waves. I don't know if in the current state of the bugs for like the other servers, but I've certainly seen people have like defense. Oh, don't go down, soldier. It would be terrible if soldier dies here. Lucky. Go and grab some fish, man. Go and get some health regen. Going down is effectively not just a death sentence because you died, but it's genuinely like a death sentence. Like, once you die, you have to go and pick your body up. Typically, that's where the biters are, or moving through, which means you lose all of your items, and yeah, you're going to have a bad time. Oh, hey, Tukin, how's it going, my dude? Yeah, the tournament has begun. We've seen a couple of results so far. We have Dalvos, who's a member of the MMP speedrunning community, versus the soldier. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. He does have this passive defensive line, and you can just go off and do what you want. I worry, though, that... I say worry, I don't really, because this is working. As you can see now, an entire wave just gets blitzed. At what point do you need to switch? At what point do you need to kind of make a transition away from, right, turrets are expensive now, and I'm having to constantly hand feed them. Grenades are kind of good up to about 25-30%. You know, I wouldn't push it much further than that because... You know, we're on normal difficulty here, so the chance of you getting swarmed... Come on, Dalvos. I've heard he's a big deal, so... My homie is the soldier. I should be impartial. I'm not refereeing this, so I'm purely just casting. But yeah, it looks to me like two very strong players going at it, and the soldier's opting for, it looks to me like a turret rush on top of a grenade like defensive layer. The use of radar, quite interesting again, like we talked about just before. And Dalvos is not sending a huge amount, but I believe he might be building up a stockpile. As we see the first turret line. People are going to watch these games back, unfortunately, and think this is how you play the normal game. It's not. But for 1v1, 100% turret lines do work and can work. And as we can see here, these really, really cheap stone furnaces soaking up the damage, soaking up the amount of bugs coming through, and catching the wave before it hits anything important that you don't want to lose, like your smelting, for instance, or any of these turrets or any of these smelting lines. So the reason you see these kind of blocks of, oh dear, quite a lot out of ammo here. So for those of you that don't know, that play Bite Battles regularly, we normally typically, for newer players at the very least, ask them not to build ammo turret lines, because when you play the larger team-based element of the game, we can hit flamer turrets and kind of wall our bases off relatively quickly to the point where this is an investment that's not worth making. However, in this game mode, especially if you're on your own, you need to outsource your defense to other things, other entities, right? You don't want to be sat there having to constantly run up to these bugs, shoot them with your gun, and run back and continue the game. The most efficient way you can make kind of an advancement in your own playstyle is to have something else do the heavy lifting for you. Dalvos, I don't think has grenades open to them at the moment. As we see 1, 2, 3, 4 iron smelting production lines, and a little bit of copper too, so he's still grabbing plates out of smelting arrays. Soldier, you know, he's still dealing with a lot of issues here too. You know, these two huge waves are going to be not easily dealt with manually, as we can see most of his kind of stone furnace walls going down. And I wonder maybe Dalvos has got this. Purely off the basis that he just needs to replace the turrets, right? It's set and forget. And you're never going to be holding like hundreds of grenades, right? So eventually you're going to start running low, whereas with this, buildings will churn out turrets, turrets just go down in this line, throw down another line of stone furnaces and get back to whatever it was you were doing before. So potentially this might actually work out for Dalvos. I just don't see the progression. I don't understand the next like level of progression unless this is locking in Dalvos in the early game. So like, right, you throw whatever you want at me, I'm completely squared away now, I've got my turrets, I've got my ammo, I'm safe, because there's like 30 or 40 of these defending my front line. I'm off to tier 3. Sack off tier 2, we're off to tier 3, we're off to tier 4, and you try your hardest to kind of survive your end whilst I kind of comfortably walk into the mid game. 20% isn't too bad. I mean, even if you had a gun on you, you could physically defend against this. But I'm worried for the soldier in terms of he hasn't gone past turret spamming at the moment. It seems to me like if we look at the mutagen log, they're kind of close to equal on turret spam actually. God, this music's terrible. Holy shit. Sorry, I need to turn this off. This is actually hurting my face right now. Sorry, if any of you are really into that, you need help. I'm gonna go with tried and tested, mate. I'm gonna go and stick on some drum and bass. Here we go. We got halfway through this playlist yesterday. That'll do. Synthwave isn't dark synthwave. You can't hear it good. So in this game mode, yeah, military sends are the sends that we're looking at. Music's not on stream. I did down it. Let me up the music a little bit. So you may faintly be able to hear. Volume up the game then. We do have game sounds on. However, oh, tell a lie. I like playing with music, I'm going to be honest. I just mostly keep it low. We've all seen streams where the music is obnoxiously loud. So I tend to kind of keep things on a level so that we're not experiencing like horrific levels of like someone screaming down a microphone or the music being overwhelming. But I do like a little bit of a soundtrack, you know. DMCA approved. I don't want to get taken down or sued by any major kind of record labels, but Dalvos having a bad time here. The waves are non-stop. 22% for 21%. This is a relatively even game as well, if you think about it. But yeah, the turrets are being tested at the moment. As you can see, a couple have been pancaked, flattened into the ground to this eastern side. So yeah, how we develop from here and where we go will be quite important, because at some point the pressure will tip one side over as another few, only 30 turrets comes through. And yeah, we're looking at a relatively decent game. We're at 23 minutes in now, as I quickly have a bit of coffee. The soldier is still dealing with these enormous waves coming through. And having to manually defend this, I don't know. I'd love to be able to clip up the amount of time that he's using to defend this, as opposed to kind of continuing on his own base and his own plans. You know, is it 10 minutes out of a 20-minute game that you're using? But that said, regardless, it's going to be a very, very close game either way. As Dalvos now starts to pull even more coal from his coal patch. There might even be an expansion on power, to be fair. Here we go, because power is looking into the yellow zone. So yeah, if you can't power your buildings fully, they don't work fully efficiently for you. And you know, meanwhile, we're seeing attacks happen to his kind of northern border, but you know, the turrets are doing very well for themselves. They're actually managing to repel these waves. Some of them are very, very low on 15 HP. Some of them are out of ammo, but ultimately, this is like a speed bump, right? This effectively is a speed bump towards like a greater goal, which is to progress. I'm not super sure though. Both these teams like are really on a knife edge in my mind. Soldier has landed at one point and hasn't progressed much since. That might have something to do with the research. Could you get away with another row of labs here just to speed yourself up? Or is the play just to pump gun turrets directly through your opponent's heart and hope and pray that does the trick, that does the job? It does, it does. It also speeds up your research though. But at the same time too though, I can check, I guess. 1 second. He's going for offensive research, strong explosives and projectile. Meanwhile, up north, we have green science researching, but nothing in the labs. So I'm not sure. Like I'm not sold on. As you can see, they're not even on. But that might be because power has been an issue recently, as we can see a couple more steam engines gone down. Yeah, confused. Yeah, they're both really offensively driven here. Like the base itself is kind of being left behind in the dust. But that might be because we have two people slugging it out at the moment. So effectively we're seeing the soldier sending, and then, you know, fuck it, Dalvos is sending. And then we're going back down the line of, okay, right, well, you know, he's just sent to me. I need to send back to him to keep things even. And we are looking at a relatively even game here. 25% on the south, 25.7 to the north. So that 0.7 really won't make a huge amount of difference. And now this turret line is substantial. So the waves just melt. I think Dalvos may have survived this. I think Dalvos Genuine might have actually managed to kind of mitigate the early sends, and we're now looking at a relatively well. I mean, lose a turret or two, that's fine. That's just the nature of the game. You will eventually lose a few bits and pieces. But if all it takes is for you to pop over here, then plop a few more down like we're seeing here. That's the problem, isn't it? The bigger question really is that, yeah, when that evolution happens, the medium bugs just take a lot more resources to they soak up more bullets effectively, so they'll still go down. Interesting. Okay. So conversely from what I was saying about adding more labs, instead we just have different research going down here. The soldier looking to move forward. One medium biter is 12 iron. Yeah, I can believe it. I can believe it. What do you want, dog? Sorry, my dog's just... 1 second. I don't want to miss any of this, but I need to go and fill my dog's water bowl up. Sorry, guys. I promise you I'll be very, very quick, but my dog is yapping at me, and that normally means he wants some water, so... is this GG? Bro, come on, you do see this, don't you? You have to see this. Come on, mate. Come on, there's like one thing here. Reels? The deadliest biter is the unseen one. As you can see, yeah, a lot of resources going into killing a single bug. Give me 2 seconds, I need to go and fill up my dog's water bowl. I'll be back in literally 10 seconds. Right, that was super quick. Okay, have I missed anything? I didn't miss anything, right? Right, the puppy is happy. I can hear him going... Oh, that must have sounded terrible. Why did I do that into the mic? I'm such a crap streamer. For all those out there listening, I do apologise. I got hyped up. I've had too much coffee. I'll calm myself down. We do now see, getting back on track, the soldier still dealing with the infiltration of bugs into his base. Their base, sorry. Very ASMR. Oh god. Why do the things that happen to stupid people happen to me? Is my mantra while playing biter battles, by the way. The soldier under pressure, getting back on track, you filthy animals, is looking to lock in some green science research. At the moment, again, the teams are perfectly equal and even. However, the soldier is dealing with a lot of pressure on his base. Grenades are working, but they're starting to get like diminishing results. You're needing 2 or 3 to get rid of large waves, which means that every single time one of these appears, you're losing a vast amount of your defensive items in order to get rid of the angry, rampaging, purple-shelled medium bugs. Again, the stone furnaces will soak up a lot of the pressure that these things are putting down. However, over time, they will tear through what you have, regardless of whether you want it to die or not. They're coming, and you can't really stop it. It is inevitable. It is inevitable. However, these gun turrets are really paying off at the moment, and as you look at the pressure kind of swarming in onto the northern base, they're going down. It's taking a little bit of doing, but they are going down. And you could argue that yes, losing all of these gun turrets is a bit of a shame. But yeah, surviving, that's the aim of the game here. Sometimes you don't have to be the one that wins, you just have to be the one that loses second. I might get that on my gravestone. Yeah, sometimes you just have to be the one that doesn't give in and give up. Dalvos hasn't had any research. These labs have not been switched on at all. He kind of, it looks to me as though he began to research green science, but nothing basic other than the gun turrets have been researched on north. So I'm slightly worried about that, I guess, because, and again, like 3 tiers, 3 layers of gun turrets is fantastic, right? This will stop medium biter waves. But I guess this is down to kind of committing to gun turrets and committing to grenades. And I think it's cheaper for the soldier overall. You know, a little bit of iron, a little bit of coal, and then just stone furnaces and your time, depending on how much you. Although these grenade buildings going down is kind of huge. Yeah, that's kind of big. I mean, you're losing basically the thing that's keeping you alive at the moment. This is not a great look. Although the soldier survives again. We're seeing like a sandwich layer of gun turrets here from the north. I'll try and catch a couple of northern waves as well as they come in. So yeah, they are getting repelled. And quite handily, but it's expensive. So I guess if I had to summarize this to somebody just joining, the soldier is expending and spending a lot of money or a lot of resources on being offensive. Not physically or verbally offensive, but being offensive in the game, fighting the bugs with grenades and stone furnaces. Whereas Dalvos' investment is in pure defense, physical, static defense. Yeah, no, I know what you mean, because every single turret will pick up here first before it picks up back here. And that's kind of the danger of the ammo line. It's why in the normal, I mean, we're watching a 1v1 tournament today, so I'll try not to kind of mention the team-based game too much, but being in the team-based game, you do tend to find that ammo lines are just not advised at all. In the early game, yes, use them. The little turret flowers you can build are useful, but you tend to kind of want to transition as fast as possible. Possible? I'm having a terrible time, boys. Need another coffee. Yeah, one death is GG, and the soldier trying to place down power has just missed a wave coming in. And I don't want to call anything, but it seems to me like things are going to go, yeah, they're going south in a negative way. We see the silo begin to be spat on, the bite is rampaging through the base, and all it took was one in a very even game. 30% on north, and 30% now on south. And one slight deviation from the plan, trying to sit down some more power, has led the soldier to a loss. Dalvos progresses. But that's what I'm talking about. 34 minutes, and at minute 33 you do one thing differently. Clutch versus Kevin. Is that on now? Should we move on? That was a nice game. I'm going to type GG's. And the unknown Dalvos moves on.